When I've experienced hard times in my life, I think instead of turning away from Christianity, I tend to try to rely on it more because that's really all I know. I think faith is a way that you can build yourself up in those hard times when you're feeling discouraged or lost or with unanswered questions. Turning to God instead of away from Him is just a way to make sure that you're fully finding those faith moments and not getting lost and bombarded by all those hard times, because life definitely has those hard times. You just need to try to keep your head up and know that God's always with you through those hard times.
Go.
Okay. So lately I've been reading about the story of Noah and the hard time that he had to go through. Literally the whole world was destroyed. Everything that he knew and loved and kind of was living among the people and the animals was just completely filled over with water and flooded over, and he had to build an ark by hand, which is very tough, I assume, with the tools that he had back then, and just pack his family and a bunch of animals into a boat for who knows how long. And I just was trying to imagine myself in Noah's shoes, how he had to endure that tough time, but not on his own. He definitely had God helping him and giving him instructions and guiding him. And I think if you find yourself in a storm like Noah did, maybe a mental storm or a physical storm, that just remember that God has equipped you to build those arcs in your life that you need. So he's preparing you to build an ark to endure you through the storm. And remember at the end of the story of Noah that God blesses him and gives him a promise that he'll never do it again. He'll never flood the earth again. And so every time you see a rainbow, like in God's covenant with Noah, you can be reminded that God is always with you and He will bring you through the storm.
I have been pretty blessed to not have had to experience too many really, really hard times in life. But like anybody, there have been harder times. In those hard times, though, I've found that it hasn't pushed me farther away from God and religion. It's actually made me cling closer to Him and have really rely on my faith as comfort and peace and support during those hard times. So I think those hard times have really pushed me closer to God instead of pushed me farther away. Christianity gives us hope in a dark world, and a lot of times when we try to run away from Christ in the Bible and Christianity, in those hard times, we're only going farther into that darkness, and I think that can kind of spiral and lead into more of that depression, darkness, hurt. So I think running to God in those times, it just gives us some light and some hope, and I think it just is a real comfort. So I would just say that in those hard times, just remember that God is there to comfort us, and He's there to show us love and kindness and compassion through those hard times. So it's important to kind of go to that instead of run to the other side.
My advice to someone trying to walk away from a bad thing as a Christian would be definitely pray about it first, but talk to someone with authority, get advice from them. Or the second thing you could do